You haven't posted on Instagram in 6 months. Your Facebook is frozen in time. Your friends keep asking, "Are you okay?" And you think, "I've never been better." While everyone else is documenting their breakfast, their workouts, and their thoughts at 2 a.m., you're living quietly, invisibly. They think something's wrong with you. But here's what they don't understand. Your brain works differently, and science proves it. Meet Mary. Mary is successful, mentally sharp, and emotionally connected. But if you looked for her online, you'd think she disappeared. Her last Instagram post was 14 months ago. Her friends text her, "We never see you anymore." But Mary isn't depressed. She is simply living her life in high resolution, without feeling the need to broadcast it in low quality. She's thriving. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you 5 psychological reasons why some people don't post on social media, and why this behavior is often a sign of mental independence, not social dysfunction. This isn't about fear. This isn't about hiding. This is about how certain brains process identity, validation, and attention. In a world addicted to visibility, choosing invisibility isn't weakness, it's discernment. Let's start with the first reason. Reason number 1. Your brain doesn't need external validation. Here's what most people get wrong about people like Mary. They think she's insecure, that she's hiding, that she lacks confidence. The opposite is true. Mary hasn't posted on social media in over a year, not because she's scared of judgment, because she doesn't need approval. Most people post because it triggers a dopamine response. You share a photo. You wait. The likes roll in. Each notification fires dopamine, the brain's reward chemical. Over time, your brain starts craving that hit. Post, wait, validate, repeat. It's not intentional, it's biological. Your brain learns visibility equals reward, but Mary's brain never formed that connection. When she posts something, there's no dopamine spike. When she doesn't post, there's no withdrawal. Psychologist Dr. Jean Twenge found that heavy social media users show the same dopamine dependency patterns as gambling addicts. The cycle becomes compulsive. But people who don't post? Their brains run on a different reward system. Mary's validation comes from internal sources. Accomplishing a goal, finishing a project, having a deep conversation. She doesn't need an audience to confirm her existence. She doesn't need likes to feel real. This isn't confidence. This is independence. And her brain never learned to confuse the two. If you are new to Mind Decode, welcome. We are breaking down the psychology behind you. Hit subscribe and let's decode why you don't post and why that's perfectly healthy. Reason number 2. You don't confuse performance with identity. Mary's second advantage. She knows the difference between who she is and who she performs. Most people don't. Social media rewards performance. The curated photo, the clever caption, the carefully chosen moment that makes your life look better than it is. And slowly, without realizing it, people start living for that performance. They don't go to the restaurant because they're hungry. They go because it's photogenic. The performance becomes the point. Mary stopped posting the moment she realized this. She went to a concert, took a photo, started writing a caption, then stopped. She thought, "Am I doing this because I enjoyed it? Or because I want people to think I enjoyed it?" That question changed everything. Psychologist Turkle calls this the documented self. We start experiencing life through the lens of how it will appear online. The problem? You start optimizing for perception instead of reality. Mary realized she was spending more time curating her life than living it. So she stopped curating. Now when she experiences something, it's hers, private, unfiltered, not performed for an invisible audience. She doesn't confuse her identity with her highlight reel, and that separation keeps her grounded in a way most people aren't anymore. Reason number 3. You value depth over breadth. Here's something Mary understood: that connection isn't the same as contact. Social media is built on breadth. Hundreds of friends, thousands of followers, endless shallow interactions. But Mary's brain doesn't work that way. She doesn't want surface-level engagement. She wants depth. Robin Dunbar, an anthropologist, discovered that humans can only maintain about 150 meaningful relationships. Anything beyond that becomes cognitively impossible. But social media pretends you can maintain 1,000. So you end up with 800 people you barely know, liking photos of lives you don't care about while pretending you're connected. Mary saw through this year ago. She doesn't post because posting requires her to engage with people she doesn't feel connected to. Every post invites comments from acquaintances. Every story invites shallow interactions. And her brain rejects shallow. She'd rather invest her time in the 5 people who actually matter than broadcast to the 500 who don't. This isn't antisocial. This is selective. Mary doesn't avoid connection. She just refuses to confuse noise with connection. Reason number 4. You refuse the comparison trap. Most people don't realize what social media does to their brain. Every time you scroll, you're comparing. Unconsciously, automatically. Their vacation versus yours. Their body versus yours. Their success versus yours. Psychologist Leon Festinger called this social comparison theory. Humans instinctively measure themselves against others to evaluate their own worth. Social media weaponizes this instinct. Mary used to post, and every time she did, she'd scroll afterward. And every time she scrolled, something subtle shifted. She'd see someone's promotion, and suddenly her job felt smaller. She'd see someone's relationship, and suddenly hers felt lacking. She'd see someone's body, and suddenly hers felt wrong. It wasn't dramatic. It was erosion. Slow, constant, invisible. One day, she stopped posting. And within weeks, something changed. She stopped comparing because she stopped consuming. Research from the University of Pennsylvania found that reducing social media use significantly decreases feelings of loneliness and depression. Not because social media is inherently bad, but because it triggers constant comparison. Mary doesn't post because she knows the cost. Every post invites comparison. Every scroll triggers inadequacy, so she opted out, and her mental health improved immediately. Reason number 5. You see the game, and you won't play it. Social media isn't a neutral platform. It's an attention economy, and you're the product. Every post you make, every like you give, every scroll you take, you're feeding the algorithm, training it, making it smarter at keeping you hooked. Mary realized this years ago. She wasn't posting to share her life. She was feeding a machine designed to monetize her attention. Digital minimalist Cal Newport calls social media a slot machine in your pocket. The variable reward system, sometimes you get likes, sometimes you don't, keeps you addicted. Mary saw the game, and she refused to play. She doesn't post because every post strengthens the system. Every engagement trains the algorithm to manipulate her better. This isn't paranoia. This is awareness. She's not boycotting social media out of principle. She's protecting her autonomy. She refuses to let an algorithm dictate what she sees, how she feels, and who she becomes. So she stays invisible, not out of fear, out of sovereignty. The dark side. Warning. Avoidance versus choice. Now we need to be very clear about something. Not posting on social media is healthy, if it's a choice. But if you're not posting because you're hiding, that's different. If you avoid posting because you're terrified of judgment, that's social anxiety, not independence. If you're isolated, disconnected, and using "I don't post" as an excuse to avoid all connection, that's withdrawal, not preference. Mary doesn't post, but she still maintains real relationships. She texts, she calls, she meets people in person. She's opted out of the performance. She hasn't opted out of connection. Here's the test. Ask yourself, am I not posting because I don't need it, or because I'm afraid of it? Freedom means not needing it. Fear means avoiding it. Know the difference. Conclusion. You were never missing out. So here's the truth most people never hear. If you don't post on social media, you're not antisocial. You're not insecure. You're not missing out. Your brain simply doesn't need external validation to confirm your existence. You don't confuse the performance of life with the living of it. You value depth over breadth, real connection over broadcast noise. You refuse the comparison trap, and you see the game, and you won't play it. Mary doesn't post anymore, and she's thriving, not despite her invisibility, because of it. As digital minimalist Cal Newport said, you don't need social media to live a meaningful life. You need meaningful relationships, meaningful work, and the autonomy to choose what matters. Some of the most grounded, fulfilled people you'll ever meet are invisible online. Not because they're hiding, because they're living. If this video finally put words to something you've always felt, hit like and subscribe to Mind Decode. Share this with someone who keeps asking why you don't post anymore. Until next time, keep decoding your mind. Whether you broadcast your life or live it privately, both are valid. Know yourself. Choose accordingly.